Good morning, my brothers. Today is January 20th, and so we turn to the book of Proverbs, chapter 20, for God's daily dose of wisdom. And as I was going through Proverbs 20, verse 27 jumped off the page. But honestly, I didn't want to take it on because it's a tough one. But it reads like this: The spirit of man is the lamp of the Lord, searching all the innermost parts of his being. Now, I don't know about you, but when I read that, I was like, what in the world are you talking about, Lord? So, in the spirit of doing hard things, which is one of my ideals in life, do hard things. Don't make life too easy, but challenge yourself, do hard things. In the spirit of doing hard things, I decided, okay, well, let's take this one on. Let's try and figure this one out. The spirit of man is the lamp of the Lord, searching all the innermost parts of his being. Well, one of the references that I came up with was in 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. And that reads like this: For who among men knows the thoughts of a man, except the spirit of the man which is in him? Even so, the thoughts of God no one knows except the Spirit of God. Okay, we're getting a little bit of a glimpse as to what it is he's talking about here. So the Spirit knows the thoughts of the man. All right. And as I dug a little deeper into this, I discovered that the word that is used for spirit in this context is a word that is more oftentimes than not, translated as spirit, but has a unique definition based upon its context. That's the word. The word morphs depending upon its context. And in this particular context, there were many writers that were talking about how they believed that it referred more to the mind than to the spirit, which is in connection with the 1 Corinthians 2:11 verse. So really the thoughts of man, or the mind of man, is the lamp of the Lord. What is he talking about there? Well, a lamp reveals things. Your word is a lamp to my path, a light to my steps. So that's the idea. It reveals things. It reveals where we need to go in terms of his word being a lamp, but it reveals the thoughts of man, searching all the innermost parts of his being. So this lamp, the purpose for this lamp is to figure out what's going on internally. Now we really understand. Now the meaning is becoming clear. He's talking about how the Lord uses our mind to determine what our motives are. The innermost parts of our being refers to our motivations, the things that are our core values, things that are important to us. So the spirit of man is a lamp to the Lord, searching all the innermost parts of his being. Talks about how the Lord uses our mind and our thoughts to reflectively look into ourselves to determine, why are we doing things the way we're doing? It's this idea of soul searching. It's this idea of taking stock, of reflecting upon why we do what we do. Socrates wrote an interesting saying. He says, the unexamined life is not worth living. Now, the lore around that statement is that it was during a trial. He was being tried for corruption of youth, and I guess his thoughts were just too high and too, it confused the people in society in it, and so he was put on trial. But he said in that trial, the unexamined life is not worth living. And what he's talking about there, I think, is what Proverbs 20:27 is talking about. And that is that from time to time, we need to take stock of who we are, why we do what we do, and what are our core values. You know, and when people come to that point where they're taking stock, where they're looking at their core values, that's when the Lord comes in, using godly men and women to reveal the gospel, the good news, to help them come to an understanding of who he is and the role that he places in their lives. So my brothers, I hope you go out and you make a difference in someone's life today. Know that I love each and every one of you. And it's good to take stock from time to time, to take a look at who we are and our core values. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May he make his face to shine upon you lift up his countenance, and give you peace. I love you. God bless.